Within you lies a God-given power that turns the chase around, where money begins to seek you instead. In Make Money, Chase You, you will uncover the shift that transforms effort into attraction and desire into inevitability. Align with it, and you will watch as money starts chasing you. Make Money, Chase You. Introduction. You are not separate from abundance. You are abundance incarnate. The universe does not distinguish between your worthiness and wealth. It simply responds to your vibrational signature. Every breath you take is an invitation, every thought a frequency that resonates through invisible channels of manifestation. Wealth is not external. It flows from your internal landscape. When you recognize that money is energy, a living current that moves through consciousness, you transform your relationship with prosperity. You are not chasing money. You are allowing its natural rhythm to align with your being. Your ancestral programming may whisper tales of struggle, of hard work as the only path to survival. But these are echoes of a limited perspective. You are a boundless electromagnetic being, capable of attracting resources through alignment, not through exhaustion. Scarcity is a learned perception, not a universal truth. The cosmos operates on principles of abundance. Look at the endless stars, the infinite oceans, the continuous cycles of growth. You are made of the same generative substance. Lack is an illusion your mind has constructed, a veil blocking your inherent connection to infinite supply. To magnetize wealth, you must first embody wealth internally. This means cultivating a state of sufficiency, of knowing you are already complete. Gratitude becomes your primary currency. Trust becomes your investment. Belief transforms into your most powerful asset. The law of attraction is not a technique. It is a remembrance. A remembrance that you are not separate from the creative force that generates universes. Money will not complete you. It will express your completeness. Your vibration is your greatest wealth attractor. When you radiate certainty, when you live from a place of inner richness, the external world cannot help but mirror your internal state. Before we get into the book, comment, "I am ready," to affirm your intention to the universe. Part 1. The Awakening of Inner Currency. Chapter 1. The Spark Within. In the quiet depths of a moonlit night, Millie Santoro's world transformed. Years of believing that money could only be earned through relentless toil had carved deep lines of exhaustion across her spirit. You have walked similar paths, believing that value comes only through struggle, that prosperity is a reward for endless sacrifice. When Millie lost her job, the world seemed to crumble. Yet in that moment of apparent darkness, something extraordinary awakened within her. Silence became her teacher. In the stillness between fear and surrender, she discovered a profound truth. Energy creates value, not hours of labor. You might recognize this moment when external circumstances strip away everything familiar, revealing a deeper current of possibility. Millie's transformation wasn't about finding a new job, but about reshaping her internal landscape of belief. Her consciousness began to shift. Instead of seeing herself as a victim of circumstance, she started to understand herself as a creator of experience. Prosperity, she realized, begins inside, where attention becomes the most potent currency. Benny Romano's journey echoed a similar awakening. His breakthrough came through a simple yet revolutionary understanding. Gratitude is a magnetic force. One small act of appreciation transformed his business, revealing how emotional energy can summon opportunity. Benny discovered that feeling abundance is more powerful than chasing it. The energetic state of already having multiplies reality faster than any strategic effort. When you truly feel prosperous, the universe responds with synchronistic abundance. Both Millie and Benny learned that money responds to your internal state. It is not something to be conquered, but a flowing energy that moves through your consciousness. Your relationship with wealth is a reflection of your deepest beliefs about yourself. Practice. Allow your next breath to carry the conviction that abundance is here now. Instead of asking how you can get something, ask how you can radiate what you already are. Each morning, speak to money as a loving friend, feeling appreciation before evidence appears, letting joy become your investment that money cannot resist. Chapter 2. The Divine Blueprint of Wealth. Your journey into understanding the sacred dance of abundance begins with a revelation that will transform how you perceive wealth itself. Rosie Capelli once wandered through life feeling like a mere shadow, overlooked by the world of success and prosperity. But everything changed when she began to see herself not as a limited human seeking opportunity, but as divine energy momentarily clothed in physical form. In that profound moment of recognition, Rosie understood a universal truth. Wealth does not respond to circumstance, but to identity. Your worth is not determined by your bank account, but by the sacred energy you radiate. When you truly perceive yourself as a vessel of infinite potential, the universe cannot help but fill that vessel with abundance. The deeper teaching whispers an eternal wisdom. Divinity and prosperity are not separate experiences, but interconnected expressions of the same creative force. They both emerge through expansion, through joy, through the fearless recognition of your inherent worth. Your ability to attract wealth is directly proportional to your capacity to see yourself as a sacred conduit of universal abundance. Charlie Moretti discovered a similar truth through a remarkable experiment. He began treating every coin, every transaction, as a blessed interaction, imagining each monetary exchange as a sacred dialogue with the divine. Where others saw mere currency, Charlie saw holy energy moving through human hands. Remarkably, as Charlie's perception shifted, so did his reality. Coincidences began to multiply. Opportunities appeared where obstacles once stood. Connections emerged effortlessly. His world transformed not through desperate action, but through a revolutionary way of perceiving value. These stories reveal a profound universal principle. How you see yourself determines what can find you. Your consciousness is the most powerful attractor in the universe. Practice. Sit for a few minutes and sense life moving through you as creative energy. Whisper, "I bless wealth because wealth blesses me," while visualizing golden light in your heart. Transmit that light outward like a beacon that travels through time and space until it finds resources eager to return home to you. Chapter 3. Vibrations that speak riches. In the tapestry of universal abundance, you are not a passive observer, but the very loom upon which prosperity weaves its intricate design. Your emotional landscape is the sacred ground where wealth takes root. far beyond the mundane calculations of spreadsheets and bank statements. Penny Lucchese understood this truth when her world seemed crushed beneath the weight of mounting debts. She had spent years wrestling with financial struggle, viewing money as a scarce resource to be hunted and captured. But the universe whispers a different wisdom. Feelings are the true currency of manifestation. One quiet evening, instead of panicking about her outstanding bills, Penny closed her eyes and allowed herself to feel relief. Not the relief that comes after solving a problem, but the profound inner peace of knowing resolution was inevitable. She imagined the lightness of being debt-free, the warmth of financial freedom coursing through her veins. Her emotions became a beacon, transmitting a frequency of abundance. Days later, unexpected checks arrived, a forgotten insurance refund, a tax credit, a freelance opportunity that materialized with surprising ease. Her vibrational shift had not just changed her perspective, it had rewritten her financial narrative. Similarly, Frankie D'Angelo discovered this universal principle in his small cafe. While sweeping floors, he sang with unrestrained joy, his melody dancing through the space. His happiness was not dependent on his current circumstances, but radiated from an inner wellspring of contentment. Unbeknownst to Frankie, his uplifting vibration was a magnet for opportunity. Investors who happened to be nearby were drawn to his infectious energy. What began as a chance overhearing of his jubilant song transformed into a partnership that would reshape his entire business trajectory. These stories reveal a profound truth. Your emotional state is the most potent financial strategy. Vibration translates emotion into physical form, making how you feel far more crucial than any external calculation. Close your eyes and hum softly until you feel warmth spreading inside. Imagine that sound weaving golden threads of opportunity through your experiences. Continue for a few breaths, sensing money responding to your music, gently orbiting closer because harmony has become its home. Chapter 4. The Magnet of Self-Worth. You are not just a participant in the economic dance, but its choreographer. Your inner landscape shapes the financial terrain around you, painting prosperity with the brushstrokes of your beliefs. Consider Josie Marino, an artist whose talent was vast, but whose self-perception was constrained. She painted exquisite canvases, yet priced them as though apologizing for her gifts. Her work whispered where it could have roared, her prices a reflection of an internal dialogue of diminishment. Then came the moment of awakening. A mentor, weathered by years of witnessing artists undervalue themselves, spoke words that would transform her relationship with abundance. Price yourself where respect lives. These words were not mere advice, but an initiation. They invited Josie to recognize that her worth was not determined by external validation, but by her own unwavering acknowledgement of her inherent value. Her art was not a commodity to be discounted, but a sacred expression of her soul's vision. As she began to shift her internal narrative, something remarkable occurred. Galleries that once overlooked her now sought her work. Collectors who previously bargained now approached with reverence. Her prices became a vibrational statement, declaring her worth to the universe. Tony Bellini's journey mirrored this principle through a different landscape. Carrying years of financial shame and familial guilt, he discovered that emotional blockages were more powerful barriers to wealth than any external circumstance. Through a dedicated forgiveness practice, Tony began releasing the heavy chains of inherited financial narratives. Each moment of self-compassion was like removing a dam, allowing the river of abundance to flow freely once more. The universal law remained consistent. What you internally permit, external reality reflects. Shame contracts, love expands. Guilt repels, forgiveness attracts. Your emotional frequency is the true currency, more potent than any monetary system. Your relationship with wealth is a living, breathing conversation. It responds not to your words, but to the energy behind those words. When you recognize your inherent worth, money becomes less about acquisition and more about natural circulation, a flow you are intrinsically connected to. Practice. Sit calmly, place your hand over your heart, and declare, "I am worthy of divine circulation." Feel your chest soften as the words seed reality. Hold that vibration until comfort replaces doubt, and you notice quietly how life begins rearranging itself to support your confidence. Chapter 5. Rewriting the Inner Script. You have carried stories of limitation within you, passed down like inherited garments that no longer fit your expanding spirit. Clara DeLuca's journey reveals how deeply embedded narratives about wealth can constrain your natural abundance. Growing up, Clara absorbed whispers that wealth meant selfishness, that prosperity was a mark of moral compromise. Her family's hushed conversations painted rich people as distant, heartless figures, disconnected from genuine human experience. These stories settled into her subconscious like sediment, creating invisible barriers between her and financial freedom. But something stirred within Clara, a quiet rebellion against inherited beliefs. She understood that these narratives were not truths, but merely inherited scripts waiting to be rewritten. Each belief about money carried an energetic frequency, and she could choose to transmute that frequency. Clara began crafting new affirmations, not as hollow words, but as vibrational keys unlocking hidden chambers of potential. She spoke declarations that felt both revolutionary and deeply true. Wealth flows to me as naturally as breath. I am a conduit of abundance, and my prosperity serves both myself and others. With each repetition, something within her shifted. The old narratives began to dissolve, replaced by a sense of expansiveness and possibility. Her income didn't just incrementally increase, it doubled, reflecting the internal transformation. Leo Pappalardo's experience echoed a similar truth. Years earlier, he had scribbled dreams in a forgotten notebook, visions of opportunity and success that seemed distant at the time. When he rediscovered those pages, the emotions of those original aspirations reignited. As Leo read his own forgotten words, something magical occurred. The dreams he had once tentatively sketched began materializing with remarkable speed. His past self had unknowingly created a vibrational blueprint, and by reconnecting with those inspired writings, he realigned himself with those original frequencies of possibility. These stories illuminate a profound teaching. Your inner narrative is the true currency. Money responds not to external strategies, but to the energetic script playing within your consciousness. When you dare to rewrite your beliefs, you recalibrate your entire relationship with abundance. Tonight, rewrite one belief about wealth into a sentence that feels liberating. Speak it out loud until its rhythm feels true. Then imagine universal energy nodding in agreement and rearranging paths accordingly. Chapter 6. The Joyful Signal. You stand at the threshold of a profound revelation. Joy is not merely an emotion, but a transformative energy that reshapes reality. Consider Lily Caruso, whose bakery once felt like a burden of endless labor until she discovered the alchemical power of genuine delight. Each morning, Lily had dragged herself to her kitchen, kneading dough with heavy sighs and calculating profits with a furrowed brow. But something shifted when she began to infuse her work with pure, unbridled happiness. She started singing while mixing ingredients, laughing as she shaped bread, and blessing each loaf with an intention of nourishment and love. Something miraculous occurred. The bakery's energy transformed. Where once there were sparse customers, now lines stretched around the block. People weren't just buying bread. They were drawn to the vibrant frequency of joy radiating from Lily's workspace. Her laughter became an invisible magnetic force, attracting abundance in ways no marketing strategy ever could. This is the universal principle at work. Joy is not a byproduct of success, but its primary catalyst. When you elevate your emotional state, you send out a signal to the universe that resonates at a frequency of abundance, creativity, and unlimited potential. Mickey Ventresca understood this principle through a different lens. An accountant by profession, he had long viewed his work as a monotonous chore of numbers and calculations. But he decided to experiment with infusing joy into every mundane task. Each time he paid a bill, he would celebrate as if receiving a gift. When reconciling accounts, he would dance in his office, transforming tedious work into a jubilant ritual. The result was astonishing. Clients began seeking him out, not just for his technical skills, but for the infectious enthusiasm he brought to his work. Opportunities appeared where once there were only spreadsheets and invoices. Mickey realized that fun and fulfillment were not distractions from success, but powerful tools of manifestation. Your relationship with work, with money, with life itself can be rewritten the moment you choose joy as your primary currency. It is not about forcing happiness, but genuinely embracing the lightness of being that exists beneath your struggles. Find one mundane task and infuse it with light-hearted energy. Smile while you do it. Sense the universe recognizing your playfulness as a prosperous signal. Chapter 7. Faith before fortune. You stand at the threshold of understanding that abundance is not a destination, but a living, breathing state of being. Annie Vitale's journey illuminates this sacred truth, a truth that resides within you, waiting to be awakened. In a time when her world seemed barren, Annie chose a radical path. Instead of succumbing to the whispers of lack, she began to act as though supply was her birthright. This was not mere positive thinking, but a profound alignment with the universal current of prosperity. Imagine standing where Annie stood, surrounded by uncertainty, yet radiating an unshakable inner knowing. She did not beg or struggle. She simply trusted. Her faith was not a passive waiting, but an active embodiment of abundance. Each breath became a declaration. I am supported. Resources flow to me effortlessly. Within weeks, help arrived through channels she could never have predicted. An unexpected phone call, a chance meeting, a subtle shift in circumstances. The universe conspired to fill the spaces she had created with her unwavering trust. This is the alchemy of faith, not a religious posture, but a creative emotion that transforms possibility into reality. Faith is the language the universe understands, a vibration that calls forth what you already know exists within you. Later, Sammy Fiorelli would demonstrate this principle with stunning clarity. On a simple bus ride, facing what many would consider scarcity, he made a choice that would redefine his relationship with abundance. With his last dollar in hand, he chose generosity. He gave freely, not from lack, but from a sense of spiritual richness. In that moment of fearless giving, Sammy proved that true wealth is not about holding tightly, but about flowing freely. His open-handed gesture was a signal to the universe, a declaration that he trusted in infinite supply. The very next day, an opportunity arrived that tripled his income, not as a reward, but as a natural consequence of his expanded consciousness. Sammy had discovered that generosity is not about the money given, but the spirit in which it is offered. Your journey mirrors these stories. You are not separate from the abundant flow of life. You are the flow itself. Stand tall, breathe, and picture walking on an invisible golden bridge of certainty. Each step glows with confidence that unseen support already exists until fear dissolves into steady warmth. Chapter 8. The Art of Non-Resistance. You stand at the threshold of a profound realization that your greatest power lies not in controlling every moment, but in allowing life's currents to guide you. Nora Campanella's journey illuminates this sacred truth, a wisdom as old as the rivers that know precisely where they must flow. In the landscape of her corporate life, Nora had been a warrior battling against invisible walls. She pushed, strategized, maneuvered, believing success was a conquest to be won through sheer willpower. Each morning she arrived early, stayed late, her tension visible in the tight lines of her shoulders and the anxious rhythm of her breath. The promotion she desired seemed perpetually out of reach, a mirage dancing just beyond her grasp. She attended every meeting, completed every task with mechanical precision, yet something essential was missing. Her approach was like trying to force a flower to bloom by pulling its petals, desperate and ultimately futile. Then came the moment of transformation. Exhausted by her own resistance, Nora did something unexpected. She stopped fighting. Instead of seeing her current role as a limitation, she began to bless it. She recognized the position not as a prison, but as a sacred ground of learning and growth. Her blessing was simple, yet profound. "I honor this role," she would whisper. "I am grateful for the lessons, the connections, the opportunity to serve." Her energy shifted from struggle to acceptance, from force to flow. Remarkably, within weeks of this internal surrender, the very promotion she had been desperately chasing was offered to her. Not through manipulation or aggressive pursuit, but through a graceful alignment with her true essence. Billy Ruggiero's story echoed a similar melody. A freelance designer perpetually anxious about his next contract, Billy had been trapped in a cycle of desperate networking and constant worry. Every delay felt like a personal failure, every quiet period a confirmation of his fears. When he learned to bless the spaces between opportunities, to see them not as voids but as fertile ground of preparation, everything changed. He began to trust the unseen movements of the universe, understanding that every pause was not a setback but a recalibration. The principle is elemental. Surrender is not weakness, but the most profound form of strength. It is releasing your grip on how things must unfold and trusting the intelligence of life itself. Like a leaf carried by a river, you move not by fighting the current, but by becoming one with it. Your struggles do not create your path. Your inner state does. Resistance creates turbulence. Acceptance creates movement. When you stop pushing against life, life begins to move through you with remarkable ease. Practice as instructed. Breathe slowly and imagine floating on water of golden light. Whisper mentally, "I release the fight." Feel your body lighten as imagined currents carry you toward ease. Chapter 9. The Language of Appreciation. You stand at the threshold of a profound revelation, a secret whispered through generations of wealth creators, yet often overlooked by those trapped in the prison of scarcity. Your relationship with money is not a battle to be won, but a dance to be understood. Daisy Palladino discovered this truth in the most unexpected manner. Her financial journals, once filled with columns of complaints and constraints, became sacred scrolls of gratitude. Where once she recorded struggles, she now inscribed blessings. Each entry transformed from a lament to a celebration, each line rewritten not as a record of lack, but as an invocation of abundance. The universe listens differently when you speak with reverence. Where Daisy once mourned her financial challenges, she began acknowledging every small blessing. An unexpected discount became a gift. A delayed payment transformed into an opportunity for patience. Her perception shifted, and with it, the very energy around her financial landscape. Miraculously, as her gratitude expanded, so did her opportunities. Clients who had drifted away returned. Debts that seemed insurmountable began to dissolve. Her appreciation became a dialect of wealth, a language the universe understood and responded to with immediate generosity. This is not magical thinking, but a fundamental law of energy. What you praise expands because your attention is creative power. Your focus is a paintbrush, and gratitude is the luminous color that brings your financial canvas to life. Joey Mancuso understood this principle through a simple practice. Instead of wincing each time money left his hands, he began thanking every dollar he spent. Each transaction became a blessing, each payment an act of faith. Remarkably, he noticed his balances growing rather than shrinking. By celebrating the movement of money, he transformed it from a scarce resource to a flowing river of abundance. The deeper wisdom here transcends mere financial strategy. Gratitude is not about manipulating outcomes, but about aligning with the inherent generosity of the universe. When you thank money, truly thank it. You acknowledge its role as an energy of exchange, a messenger of value, not a master to be feared. Your wealth is not determined by the numbers in your account, but by the quality of your relationship with abundance. Every moment you spend in appreciation is a moment you invest in your financial frequency. Before sleeping, softly recall small sources of abundance from the day, savoring them until your body hums with contentment. That hum becomes tomorrow's magnet. Chapter 10. The Circle of Giving and Receiving. In the intricate dance of abundance, you are both the dancer and the stage. Your ability to give transforms the very landscape of your financial universe. Sophie Ferraro understood this sacred principle when she extended her hand to a friend, not with calculation, but with pure heart. When Sophie learned her longtime friend Elena was struggling to launch her small art business, she didn't hesitate. Without expectation of return, she transferred funds to help Elena purchase professional-grade painting supplies. Her generosity flowed from a place of genuine care, unburdened by thoughts of reciprocation. Days after her quiet act of kindness, unexpected commissions began appearing in Sophie's consulting practice. Clients she hadn't pursued suddenly reached out. Referrals emerged from unexpected channels, and opportunities materialized as if guided by an invisible hand. The universe responded not through transactional logic, but through the harmonious rhythm of genuine giving. This is the profound law of reciprocity, a spiritual current more powerful than any strategic networking or marketing scheme. When you give without attachment, you signal to the cosmic intelligence that you understand abundance is not about accumulation, but circulation. Johnny Tremonti discovered a parallel truth about receiving. For years he deflected compliments, believing humility meant rejecting acknowledgement. But true prosperity recognizes that receiving is equally sacred as giving. When he began accepting praise with genuine gratitude, allowing kind words to land softly in his heart, his world subtly transformed. Compliments, Johnny realized, were not mere words but energetic gifts. By blocking them, he was interrupting the natural flow of abundance. Once he learned to receive openly, with grace, with a genuine thank you, material blessings began streaming into his life with surprising ease. The language of appreciation speaks through both giving and receiving. It whispers that prosperity is not a zero-sum game, but a circular dance where energy moves, transforms, and returns enriched. Your wealth consciousness expands not through hoarding, but through understanding this fundamental rhythm. Give freely, receive graciously, and trust the universal current that knows exactly how to balance its own scales. Practice. Offer something of value today. A smile, time, encouragement, while feeling moments later the gentle returning wave that steady giving always invites. Part 2. The Mastery of Magnetic Flow. Chapter 11. Seeing Money as Energy. In the gentle cascade of autumn, you witness a profound metaphor dancing before your eyes. Jenny Martino stood beneath a canopy of trees, watching leaves spiral earthward, and suddenly understood the living wisdom of financial energy. Each falling leaf revealed a truth about currency that transcends mere paper and coin. Money, like water, is meant to flow. When rivers are blocked, life stagnates. When streams are dammed, ecosystem balance collapses. Similarly, when you constrict your relationship with wealth through fear or scarcity, you interrupt the natural circulation of abundance. Your financial energy is not a static resource to be guarded, but a dynamic current waiting to move through you. Hoarding creates constraint. Releasing creates movement. Just as leaves fall to nourish soil, which then feeds trees, money carries a similar transformative potential when allowed to circulate freely. Jenny observed how each leaf contributed to the earth's renewal, not by clinging, but by letting go. In that moment, she recognized that true wealth isn't about possession, but participation. Currency literally means current or flow, a linguistic hint at its inherent nature. This understanding transforms money from a feared master into a cooperative ally. When you perceive wealth as energy rather than a limited resource, you invite its continuous renewal. Eddie Calabrese embodied this principle effortlessly. A skilled consultant who believed in generous knowledge sharing, he began publishing comprehensive guides online. He didn't calculate each share for immediate return, but trusted in the fundamental law of circulation. Remarkably, As Eddie freely distributed his expertise, invitations for paid consulting began arriving from unexpected quarters. Professionals who had benefited from his free content now sought his direct guidance. His openness had created invisible bridges of opportunity. His experience demonstrated that abundance responds to generosity. When you release knowledge, resources, or support without rigid expectations, you activate a more expansive economic principle. The universe doesn't operate through strict accounting, but through interconnected flows of energy and reciprocity. You are not separate from this current. You are the channel through which wealth moves, transforms, and returns. Your willingness to circulate, whether through sharing, investing, or supporting others, determines the breadth of your financial landscape. Practice. Visualize money as shimmering currents moving through you with ease. Affirm its endless rhythm until inner tension melts into trust. Chapter 12. The Geometry of Intention. The universe speaks the language of precision, and your intentions are its most potent dialect. As Betty Posito discovered, vagueness scatters energy like leaves in an autumn wind, while crystal-clear vision concentrates power like sunlight through a lens. When you craft your intention, you are not merely thinking, you are sculpting reality. Imagine your thoughts as a chisel, carving purposeful pathways through the formless potential surrounding you. Each deliberate stroke defines boundaries, invites clarity, and transforms ethereal possibility into tangible manifestation. Betty's journey illuminated how scattered thoughts create scattered results. Her initial approach was like trying to navigate a vast ocean without a compass, drifting, hoping, but never truly directing. Then she learned to distill her desires into precise, vivid images. Her visualization became a map, her intention a magnetic North Star guiding her professional trajectory. Similarly, Paul D'Amico understood that intention carries an inherent geometric precision. During his meditative practices, he began tracing intricate patterns, sensing how these sacred geometries mirrored the underlying structures of existence. These weren't random sketches, but deliberate explorations of order, rhythm, and connection. As Paul's mental landscape became more structured, his business environment responded. Consistent income emerged not through desperate striving, but through alignment with universal principles of organization and flow. His practice revealed that when inner clarity meets outer circumstance, synchronicity becomes inevitable. Your intentions are not wishful thinking, but active creation. They are the blueprint from which reality assembles itself. When you learn to craft them with surgical accuracy, seeing each detail, feeling each nuance, you transform from a passive observer to an active architect of your experience. The key is not just wanting, but knowing, not hoping, but seeing, not dreaming, but designing. Your intentions are the bridge between the invisible realm of potential and the tangible world of manifestation. Imagine drawing your vision in light with precise simplicity, allowing the universe to read it perfectly and respond with matching circumstances. Chapter 13. The Prosperous Mind Conversation. The geometry of intention continues its sacred exploration of how your inner landscape shapes the external world. Just as mathematicians understand that precise lines and angles create perfect forms, your thoughts and words construct the geometry of your financial reality. Claudia Bellarosa discovered this truth when she transformed her inner dialogue from a landscape of complaint to a sanctuary of celebration. Where once her words were laden with struggle and limitation, she began to craft narratives of abundance and possibility. Her language shifted from, "I never have enough," to, "Wealth flows to me with grace and ease." Within mere days of this linguistic alchemy, new customers began appearing at her doorstep, as if summoned by the very vibration of her renewed speech. The universe listens intently to the frequency of your words. Each utterance is not merely sound, but a directive sent into the cosmic storehouse of potential. Vinnie Caravello understood this principle deeply. He realized that every word spoken about finances is tantamount to placing an order with the universe. Each statement a requisition slip for your future experience. When Vinnie began to recognize the power embedded in his language, he became deliberate. Gone were the days of unconscious muttering about scarcity. Instead, he spoke of abundance with the confidence of one who already knows the order will be fulfilled. His words became invocations, his sentences prayers of prosperity. This is not mere positive thinking, but a profound understanding of vibrational alignment. Your words are not just descriptions of reality, they are creators of reality. They shape the very energy that materializes your experiences, drawing circumstances that match their essence. The geometry of intention is precise. Like a skilled architect drawing blueprints, you design your financial landscape through the exactness of your inner dialogue. Each word is a line, each thought an angle, together constructing the structure of your material world. As you stand at the threshold of transformation, remember that language is your most potent tool. It is the bridge between the invisible realm of potential and the tangible world of manifestation. Practice. Choose words today that feel uplifting. Hear them echo lovingly within your mind until positivity feels natural, drawing wealth by language of joy. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. Aligning Desire with Purpose. In the intricate dance of prosperity, you are both the dancer and the choreographer, weaving intention with the deepest currents of your being. Nancy Lombardo's journey illuminates a profound truth. When your desire harmonizes with your soul's deeper purpose, the universe conspires to transform your vision into vivid reality. Nancy had long dreamed of abundance, not merely for herself, but as a conduit of generosity. Her heart carried twin flames, one of personal aspiration, the other of service. Where many see these as conflicting energies, she recognized them as complementary frequencies of the same divine transmission. In her work as a community educator, Nancy began to see wealth not as a personal trophy, but as a resource for collective healing. She shifted from viewing money as a private conquest to understanding it as a fluid energy meant to circulate, nourish, and elevate. Each dollar became a seed of possibility, each transaction a potential for transformation. Her intention crystallized. She would create educational programs that empowered marginalized communities while generating sustainable income. This wasn't just a strategy. It was an alignment of her most authentic self with the universe's abundant design. Miraculously, as she refined this vision, opportunities began emerging from unexpected directions. Grants appeared for her community programs. Speaking invitations arrived that both compensated her generously and expanded her impact. Philanthropic networks connected her with resources she had never imagined possible. The universe responds not to desperate grasping, but to clear, heart-centered intention. Nancy understood that prosperity isn't about accumulation, but about becoming a clear channel through which resources can flow meaningfully. Ricky Romano's parallel journey in music revealed a similar truth. Where once he approached his art with tension and performative anxiety, he now embraced his craft as a pure expression of his soul's language. His music became less about impressing audiences and more about transmitting genuine emotion. As Ricky aligned his musical passion with a deeper purpose of connecting and healing through sound, his career transformed. Record labels that once seemed distant now sought him out. Collaborations emerged that felt less like business transactions and more like cosmic alignments. Both Nancy and Ricky demonstrated a fundamental principle. When desire is purified by purpose, manifestation accelerates. Your intentions become not just personal wishes, but resonant signals that the universe cannot help but answer. Sit quietly and let motives surface. Merge them into one radiant feeling of love expressing through prosperity. Chapter 15. Emotion, the compass of creation. You stand at the threshold of a profound understanding. Your emotions are not random chemical reactions, but precise navigational instruments guiding you toward abundance. Just as a compass points north, your inner feeling sense directs you toward expansion, opportunity, and wealth. Peggy Grimaldi's journey illuminates this universal truth. For years, she approached prosperity through rigid strategies, spreadsheets, networking protocols, and calculated moves. Yet something remained blocked. Her achievements felt mechanical, her success hollow. Everything changed when she began listening to her emotional landscape. Instead of suppressing feelings of excitement or dismissing moments of unexpected joy, she started following them. When a potential collaboration sparked genuine enthusiasm, she no longer rationalized it away. She leaned into that vibration. Remarkably, partnerships began emerging where before only transactions existed. Colleagues became allies. Projects transformed from obligatory tasks into inspired co-creations. Her business wasn't just growing, it was breathing, alive with an organic intelligence far beyond mathematical projections. Joey Del Vecchio's story mirrors this revelation. A project manager accustomed to meticulous planning, he discovered that pure excitement could orchestrate outcomes more elegantly than any structured approach. When he allowed genuine passion to lead, teams spontaneously aligned, resources appeared unexpectedly, and growth unfolded with minimal resistance. The universe communicates through feeling. Your emotions are not obstacles to overcome, but messengers carrying precise guidance. Enthusiasm isn't just a pleasant sensation. It's a vibrational signal that attracts matching experiences. When you resonate with joy, possibility magnetizes toward you. This doesn't mean ignoring practical considerations. Instead, it means allowing your emotional compass to inform your choices. Logic plans, emotion inspires, strategy constructs, enthusiasm animates. Your wealth consciousness expands not through force, but through alignment. When your inner state matches your desired outcome, not just intellectually, but emotionally, manifestation becomes natural, almost effortless. Practice. Notice emotional signals without judgment and lean gently toward what feels lighter each time you choose. Wealth responds. Chapter 16. From Wanting to Knowing. In the grand tapestry of creation, you are not a passive observer, but the very weaver of reality's fabric. Your emotions are not mere reactions, but powerful conductors of universal energy, guiding the flow of experiences that manifest around you. Martha Cannavaro understood this truth after years of watching her dreams drift like untethered clouds. She had mastered the art of hoping, but hope without conviction is like a seed without soil, potential unrealized. Her transformation began when she shifted from wishing to knowing, from uncertainty to a calm, unshakable certainty. Imagine standing at the center of your life's landscape, not pleading with the universe, but radiating a quiet confidence that what you desire is already yours. Martha learned that the moment you truly believe, the external world begins to rearrange itself to match your inner state. Her dreams were no longer distant fantasies, but living blueprints waiting to be activated by her unwavering belief. Peter Gatti embodied this principle with remarkable grace. Where others saw obstacles, he saw opportunities already unfolding. He would walk through his days acting as if his deepest aspirations were already accomplished, not from delusion, but from a profound understanding that reality responds to your internal frequency. The secret lies in understanding that manifestation is not about forcing outcomes, but about aligning your inner state with the experience you wish to create. Your emotions are the compass, your belief the true north. When you feel the reality of your desire so completely that doubt becomes impossible, the universe has no choice but to correspond. This is not magical thinking, but the profound mechanics of consciousness. Your feelings are not random. They are precise signals that communicate with the quantum field of potential. Every emotion you sustain is a command, every sustained feeling a blueprint that reality begins to construct. The universal intelligence does not distinguish between what is and what could be. It simply responds to the dominant vibration you emit. When you can rest in the feeling of your desired outcome, not with desperate hoping, but with serene knowing, you become a magnet for synchronicity. Martha and Peter's journeys reveal a fundamental truth. Manifestation is less about doing and more about being. It is about cultivating an internal state so aligned, so certain, that external circumstances have no choice but to reflect that inner landscape. Practice. Feel now the relief of completion. Let gratitude replace striving until joy anchors reality before proof. Chapter 17. Inspired action, not hard labor. When you release the grip of forced effort, a different intelligence awakens within you. This intelligence does not struggle or strategize, but flows with a wisdom that transcends mental calculations. Your intuition is not a random whisper, but a refined navigation system calibrated to guide you toward your most expansive path. Connie Loretto understood this profound truth after years of exhausting herself through relentless pursuit. She had been conditioned to believe that success demanded constant motion, that rest was a luxury reserved for the weak. Her days were marathons of meetings, spreadsheets, and endless to-do lists, a symphony of stress that promised achievement but delivered only burnout. Then something shifted. One quiet morning, instead of drafting elaborate plans, Connie listened. She allowed herself to feel beyond the noise of her thoughts, tuning into the subtle vibrations of her inner guidance. Small, unexpected impulses began to emerge, gentle suggestions that felt light, almost playful. These intuitive nudges led her to unexpected conversations, spontaneous connections, and opportunities that seemed to materialize without effort. Where she once forced outcomes, she now allowed them to unfold. Her work transformed from a battlefield of ambition to a dance of inspired collaboration. Jerry Fazio's journey mirrored this principle of inspired action. A community artist with grand dreams but limited resources, he had tried countless strategies to expand his reach. Traditional networking, aggressive marketing, competitive positioning. None produced the resonance he sought. One evening, a whimsical idea emerged. Community art nights that celebrated creativity without expectation. No elaborate planning, no desperate marketing, just pure, genuine invitation. Jerry trusted the impulse, creating spaces where artists could gather, share, and connect organically. To his surprise, these evenings became magnetic. Word spread not through calculated promotion, but through the genuine energy of shared passion. Sponsors approached him, collaborations blossomed, and prosperity arrived not as a result of strategy, but as a natural extension of authentic expression. The universal teaching crystallizes. Inspiration outweighs pressure. When you align with your inner rhythm, the universe conspires to support your movement. Effort becomes effortless, and action becomes an expression of joy rather than a means of survival. Your power lies not in how hard you work, but in how deeply you trust your internal guidance. Each inspired step is a portal, each intuitive nudge a gateway to unprecedented potential. Practice. Listen for the smallest impulses of excitement today and move gently with them, feeling grace, unfolding steps before you walk them. Chapter 18. The Frequency of Service. In the grand tapestry of abundance, you are not merely a recipient, but a conduit of universal energy. Your prosperity flows not from grasping, but from generous expression. Consider Tina Abatelli, whose life transformed when she shifted her focus from personal gain to empowering others' financial journeys. Tina had once believed wealth was a zero-sum game, a limited resource to be hoarded and protected. But as she began mentoring entrepreneurs from marginalized communities, teaching them not just financial strategies, but the energetic principles of abundance, something remarkable occurred. Her own financial landscape began to shift with unprecedented ease. Each workshop she conducted, each entrepreneur she supported, became a channel through which prosperity circulated. She wasn't just teaching financial skills. She was transmitting an elevated vibration of possibility. Her clients began experiencing breakthroughs, small businesses blossoming, innovative ideas taking root, confidence expanding. What Tina discovered was a universal truth. Service elevates your energetic frequency. When you position yourself as a conduit of support, the universe recognizes your alignment with its expansive nature. Wealth is not about accumulation, but circulation. Similar insights emerged through Rudy Campisi's journey. A successful entrepreneur himself, Rudy began dedicating time to mentoring young people in his community, sharing business wisdom without expectation of financial return. He guided teenagers from challenging backgrounds, helping them understand not just business mechanics, but the inner landscape of opportunity. Initially, Rudy's mentorship was pure contribution. He saw potential in young minds often overlooked by traditional systems. He shared stories, strategies, and most importantly, belief. He didn't just teach skills, he transmitted a frequency of possibility. Unexpectedly, his generous efforts began manifesting remarkable returns. New business opportunities emerged through connections made during mentorship. Investors became interested in his broader vision. Corporate speaking engagements materialized. His network expanded exponentially, not through calculated networking, but through genuine service. Both Tina and Rudy demonstrated a profound principle. When you expand the circle of abundance, you simultaneously expand your own capacity to receive. Service is not a sacrifice, but a sophisticated form of manifestation. By lifting others, you elevate your own vibrational frequency. The universe responds to intention and energy. When your actions are rooted in genuine contribution, you become a magnet for unexpected blessings. Your generosity creates invisible bridges of opportunity. Practice. Imagine your gifts feeding the world like sunlight nourishing blossoms, including yourself within that glow. Chapter 19. Healing the Relationship with Money. In the quiet corners of her modest apartment, Vera Gallo confronted the shadows of her financial history, a landscape marked by fear, resentment, and silent blame. Money had always felt like a capricious visitor, arriving unpredictably and departing with equal mystery. Her journals were filled with accusations. Why did prosperity seem to elude her while dancing so generously in others' lives? One evening, as moonlight spilled across her worn accounting ledger, Vera experienced a profound shift. She realized her relationship with money was like a wounded friendship, damaged by years of mistrust and unspoken grievances. Just as human relationships heal through understanding and compassion, so too could her connection with financial energy be restored. With trembling hands, she began to write a letter of apology, not to an external entity, but to the essence of money itself. She acknowledged her years of anger, her belief that currency was somehow against her. She recognized how she had pushed away opportunities by viewing money as an adversary rather than a supportive companion. "I am sorry," she wrote, her words becoming a healing incantation. "I release my resentment. I welcome you as a friend, as an energy that moves through my life with grace and purpose." In that moment of vulnerability, something within her softened. The tension that had long resided in her chest, a knot of financial anxiety, began to unravel. Days later, unexpected opportunities emerged. A freelance project arrived unexpectedly. A forgotten investment matured. Small synchronicities began threading through her financial landscape, whispering of reconnection. Tony Greco's journey mirrored Vera's transformation. A local shopkeeper who had struggled with sporadic income, Tony began treating each dollar as a cherished guest. He would smile when receiving money, thank each bill for its service, and imagine it circulating to support families' dreams and community needs. His internal dialogue shifted from scarcity to appreciation. "Thank you for traveling with me," he would whisper to currency passing through his hands. "May you continue your journey of support and abundance." The principle revealed itself slowly. Money is not just a transactional tool, but an energetic flow carrying potential, hope, and collective dreams. By loving it, By seeing it as a living current rather than a static resource, one transforms its very nature. Vera and Tony discovered that financial healing begins with emotional reconciliation. Their stories illuminated a deeper truth. Prosperity responds to reverence, not resistance. Practice. Gently converse with money internally, thanking it for serving humanity through your hands. Then visualize harmony between you forever. Chapter 20. Trusting Divine Timing. In the gentle rhythm of life's unfolding, you will discover that patience is not passive waiting, but a profound trust in the universe's intelligent design. Minnie Ardizone's journey illuminates this sacred wisdom, revealing how resistance creates delays while surrender invites synchronicity. For years, Minnie had chased her dreams with a fervent intensity that bordered on desperation. Each missed opportunity, each seemingly unanswered prayer felt like a personal rejection. She pushed against time, believing that success was something to be wrestled from the universe's reluctant grasp. But wisdom arrives when the heart learns to breathe. One tranquil evening, as moonlight filtered through her window, Minnie experienced a transformative shift. She realized that her impatience was actually blocking the very abundance she sought. The universe, she understood, was not a marketplace to be conquered, but an intelligent system of perfect timing and alignment. Her revelation was simple, yet revolutionary. Trust the invisible threads weaving her destiny. Later, Carlo DeVito would echo this understanding through his own experience. When a crucial business opportunity seemed to vanish, he did not panic. Instead, he maintained an inner calm, knowing that true prosperity cannot be forced, it can only be allowed. Days after Minnie's internal surrender, opportunities began appearing with miraculous precision. Connections emerged, resources aligned, and pathways opened where walls once stood. Her dreams were not delayed. They were being meticulously crafted in realms beyond her immediate perception. The universal law whispers, everything arrives exactly when it is meant to, not a moment too soon or too late. Your role is not to push, but to prepare, not to demand, but to trust. Carlo's investor appeared just days after he embraced this principle, not through aggressive networking, but through a calm certainty that the right connection would manifest. And it did, with an elegance that confirmed the universe's impeccable timing. These stories reveal a fundamental truth. Synchronicity dances to a rhythm beyond human impatience. When you relax into trust, you become a co-creator with life's intelligent design. Rest in the sensation that nothing is late. Feel invisible alignment weaving your success beyond sight until unveiling becomes surprise delight. Part 3. Manifestation as Natural State. Chapter 21. The Radiance of Receiving. In the intricate dance of giving and receiving, you discover that abundance flows like a river, requiring both banks to create its full expression. Francesca Barone understood this truth only after years of pouring herself into others, leaving her own cup perpetually empty. From childhood, Francesca learned that generosity meant self-sacrifice. She would offer her time, resources, and energy without hesitation, believing that true worth came from endless giving. Her world was a landscape of constant offering, yet she stood at the edge of that landscape, never allowing herself to receive. One autumn morning, a mentor's words pierced through her long-held belief. "Receiving is not weakness," the elder said. "It is completion." When you block receiving, you interrupt the sacred cycle of abundance. Those words became a key, unlocking something profound within Francesca's understanding of prosperity. She began to notice how her resistance to receiving created an energetic imbalance. Every gift refused, every compliment deflected, every help rejected was a dam preventing the natural flow of universal generosity. Johnny LaRosa's journey paralleled hers, though from a different angle. Where Francesca had struggled to receive, Johnny learned to celebrate every offering with pure, unbridled joy. When someone complimented his work, he would smile genuinely. When help was extended, he would accept with grace and gratitude. The transformation was subtle, yet powerful. Johnny's life began to sparkle with unexpected synchronicities. Opportunities emerged not through strategic planning, but through an open heart that welcomed abundance in all its forms. Francesca watched her own transformation unfold as she practiced accepting. Each thank you she genuinely received, each gift she allowed herself to enjoy, became a restoration of her own divine worth. She realized that receiving was not taking, but participating in the universal exchange of energy. The lesson crystallized. Abundance requires both giving and receiving. Like breath moving in and out, prosperity circulates through openness. When you close yourself to receiving, you create a blockage in the natural flow of universal support. Your worth is not measured by how much you can give, but by your willingness to honor both sides of generosity's equation. Receiving is an act of self-love, a declaration that you are worthy of the universe's endless gifts. Practice. When compliments or help arise, say yes, gracefully feeling pleasure, not shame, affirming, I am open to divine generosity. Chapter 22. Visualization that breathes. In the vast landscape of manifestation, your inner vision serves as the most potent creative force. You are not merely an observer of life, but a living canvas upon which reality paints its masterpiece. Each thought you nurture, each emotion you cultivate, becomes a brushstroke that transforms the invisible into the tangible. Molly Fontana understood this sacred principle intuitively. She was an artist who did not just dream. She breathed her dreams into existence. When she imagined her journey to freedom, it was no passive wishful thinking. She would close her eyes and feel the salt breeze caressing her skin, hear seagulls calling in the distance, sense the expansive horizon stretching before her. Her visualization was so vivid, so viscerally alive, that sometimes she could actually smell the ocean air, even while standing in her small apartment. And then, miraculously, that very trip materialized, not through elaborate planning or exhaustive strategy, but through the pure, unbridled power of feeling. Visualization becomes real only when emotion animates it. When you do not just see the image, but become the image. Similarly, Frankie Savino discovered this universal truth through his passion for music. He would sit quietly, eyes closed, and compose life's soundtrack in his imagination. Each note was not just a sound, but a vibration of possibility. He felt the rhythm of success, heard the melodies of opportunity, and breathed the harmonies of his deepest aspirations. Weeks later, a film director approached him, drawn by an inexplicable resonance to Frankie's creative energy. The soundtrack of his inner world had become an irresistible invitation to external opportunity. The moral is elemental, yet profound. See your vision, feel it deeply, and breathe it into reality. Your inner world is not separate from your external experience. It is the fertile ground from which all manifestation springs. Close your eyes and enliven desired scenes with sensory richness. Breathe as though you are already inhabiting them now. Let each breath be a bridge between imagination and manifestation, between the whispered dream and its thunderous arrival. Chapter 23. The Subtle Art of Allowing. In the dance of creation, you are learning that manifestation is not a forceful act, but a gentle invitation. Your journey reveals that when you release the grip of control, the universe responds with grace beyond measure. Patty Malani understood this profound truth through years of struggling against life's currents. She had been a master of strategic planning, believing that every dream required relentless pushing and precise manipulation. Her days were filled with tension, her nights consumed by worry about potential failures. But exhaustion became her unexpected teacher. One quiet evening, when her strategies had left her depleted and disappointed, Patty discovered the art of allowing. She realized that feminine power isn't about domination, but about receptivity, a soft, open space where miracles naturally bloom. This revelation transformed her approach. Instead of fighting against the flow of life, she learned to trust. She began to understand that her desires could unfold without constant interference, that the universe held intelligence far beyond her mental calculations. Similarly, Joey Perfetti's story echoed this wisdom. Facing potential job loss, he initially panicked, sending desperate applications and creating elaborate backup plans. But something shifted when he chose relaxation over anxiety. He decided to trust the unseen orchestrations happening beyond his immediate perception. Relaxation became his new strategy. He didn't abandon his goals, but released the desperate grip of fear. Surprisingly, the very position he thought was slipping away returned, not through his frantic efforts, but through a calm, confident allowing. These stories illuminate a universal principle. Allowing is not passive resignation, but an active, powerful state of being. It's a sophisticated dance where you set your intention and then step back, trusting the music of the universe to guide your steps. Your manifestation power lives in this delicate balance, clear intention coupled with serene trust. You are not a beggar pleading with life, but a co-creator dancing with infinite potential. The universe responds to your inner state more than your outer actions. When you radiate confidence, when you trust the unseen currents carrying your dreams, magic begins to unfold with elegant simplicity. During moments of tension, exhale softly while whispering, "I allow ease," until serenity replaces strain and outcomes glide in naturally. Chapter 24. The Power of Environment. In the intricate dance of manifestation, your external world serves as a profound reflection of your inner landscape. Every object, every space, every corner of your environment whispers messages about your relationship with abundance. You are not merely surrounded by things, but by energy, silent conductors of your deepest beliefs about prosperity. Rita Notaro understood this wisdom intimately. Her home had become a labyrinth of accumulated clutter. Old magazines stacked haphazardly, forgotten papers crowding surfaces, drawers stuffed with remnants of past intentions. Each pile represented more than physical disorganization. They were tangible manifestations of her scattered financial thinking. One transformative morning, Rita began methodically clearing her space. With each item she sorted, released, or thoughtfully placed, she felt something shift within her inner currency. The act of creating external order was not merely a physical cleaning, but an energetic recalibration. As dust disappeared and surfaces gleamed, her mental clarity about money sharpened. The universe responds to precision. Your environment broadcasts signals constantly, communicating your unconscious beliefs about wealth and worthiness. When Rita restored harmony to her living space, she simultaneously realigned her vibrational frequency with abundance. Similarly, Benny Ciara discovered the potent language of environmental design. He intentionally transformed his workspace, introducing elements that signaled prosperity, a beautiful brass sculpture symbolizing success, rich emerald green accents representing growth, strategically placed mirrors reflecting expansiveness. These weren't mere decorative choices, but deliberate energetic investments. As Benny's workspace transformed, so did his professional magnetism. Affluent clients began gravitating toward him, drawn by the unspoken confidence and order radiating from his carefully curated environment. His surroundings had become a silent yet powerful invitation to abundance. This principle transcends mere aesthetics. Your space is a living communication system, constantly broadcasting messages about your relationship with prosperity. Cluttered spaces signal scarcity and confusion. Organized, intentional environments become portals for opportunity. Consider your current surroundings. What story are they telling about your wealth consciousness? Are they whispering limitation or expansiveness? Every object carries an energetic signature, and your subconscious mind reads these signals continuously. The practice of aligning your environment with your prosperity vision is a sacred act of manifestation. It is an invitation to the universe, a declaration of your readiness to receive. Refresh one space with beauty, while feeling gratitude infuse the air, letting that order echo through your finances. Chapter 25. Living from Abundance Now. In the tapestry of abundance, your environment speaks a language far more profound than mere physical space. It whispers the story of your inner landscape, reflecting the most intimate beliefs about wealth, possibility, and your inherent worth. Carmela Peretti understood this truth when she recognized how she had been postponing her own joy, storing happiness like a rare commodity to be rationed instead of celebrated. Her revelation struck like lightning. Abundance is not a destination, but a present state of being. When you live as though prosperity is your natural inheritance, the universe begins to dance to your rhythm. Carmela discovered that joy was not something to be earned or saved, but a continuous current to be experienced now. Her transformation began with simple acts of celebration, acknowledging small victories, expressing gratitude for modest blessings, treating herself with the respect of someone already wealthy. This principle transcends mere positive thinking. It is an energetic transmission, a vibrational signal that communicates your fundamental relationship with abundance. By acting from a state of sufficiency rather than lack, you recalibrate the very frequency through which opportunities find you. Joey Falcone embodied this wisdom when he chose generosity before logical timing. Inviting friends to dinner before his next paycheck might have seemed financially imprudent to some, yet His action came from a place of trust, of knowing that abundance flows through, not from him. Remarkably, new contracts arrived precisely covering his expenses, validating the universal law that generous spirits are naturally supported. Your environment, both internal and external, is a powerful manifestation tool. It broadcasts your deepest beliefs about wealth, opportunity, and self-worth. Every object, every space, every ritual becomes a language through which the universe understands your energetic invitation. The invitation is simple. Live now as the prosperous being you already are. Not someday, not when certain conditions are met, but in this very moment. Your confidence, your joy, your trust become the magnetic field that attracts corresponding experiences. Practice. Treat yourself kindly today as one already prosperous. Let that steady confidence condition reality to follow suit. Chapter 26. The Mirror Principle. The mirror of consciousness reflects with unfailing precision. You are not separate from the world of wealth and opportunity, but its very source. When Connie Santini first heard this truth, she bristled. Her design business felt trapped in a cycle of scarcity, with clients who nickel and dimed her creative work, haggling over every invoice and demanding endless revisions. One quiet evening, as frustration burned within her, a deeper wisdom emerged. The stinginess she perceived in her clients was not their essence, but a reflection of her own inner landscape. Her thoughts had been narrow, guarded, constantly worried about not having enough. She had been broadcasting a frequency of lack, and the universe was faithfully returning that exact signal. Connie began to transform her inner dialogue. Instead of seeing clients as adversaries, she started viewing them as collaborators in a dance of mutual prosperity. She softened her approach, infusing her proposals with genuine appreciation and spaciousness. She began to trust that her value was inherent, not something to be desperately defended. Remarkably, as her internal narrative shifted, so did her external reality. Clients who once argued now trusted her implicitly. Projects that previously felt like battles became fluid collaborations. Her rates increased not through aggressive negotiation, but through an energetic alignment that naturally commanded respect. Later, Nicky Taglieri discovered a similar truth in his own journey. A freelance photographer long plagued by financial struggle, he realized his harshness toward himself translated directly into how others treated him. When he began practicing radical self-kindness, celebrating his talents, honoring his worth, treating himself with the same generosity he wished to receive, the world responded in kind. The universe does not distinguish between your inner conversations and outer experiences. It is a perfect reflection, a living mirror that consistently shows you the landscape of your beliefs. Your thoughts are not private whispers, but powerful broadcasts that shape reality, moment by moment. Practice. Each time you judge external lack, gently ask, "Where does this live in me?" Then soften and release. Chapter 27. Harmony with the Unseen. You stand at the threshold of a remarkable understanding that prosperity flows not just through visible channels, but through the intricate, unseen networks of universal intelligence. Your journey of wealth is not a solitary path, but a dance choreographed by forces far beyond what your physical eyes can perceive. Jenny Rossano knew this secret intimately. Where others saw emptiness, she sensed a vibrant landscape of guidance, with spiritual allies whispering directions too subtle for conventional hearing. Her life transformed the moment she began listening to these quiet counselors, acknowledging their presence in her financial landscape. Initially, Jenny had felt alone, struggling against what seemed like insurmountable financial challenges. But as she opened herself to the possibility of unseen support, strange synchronicities began emerging. A random conversation would lead to an unexpected opportunity. A seemingly chance encounter would connect her with a mentor. Signs multiplied daily, each one a gentle confirmation that she was never truly working alone. The principle here transcends mere coincidence. Cooperation with spirit represents a profound understanding that intuition bridges the visible and invisible realms. Your material world is but a thin membrane over vast oceans of intelligent energy, constantly seeking to support your highest expression. Later, Joey Abruzzi would demonstrate this principle magnificently. In challenging business negotiations that would have overwhelmed most, he learned to trust quiet, almost imperceptible nudges. These whispers guided him safely through risky deals, not through aggressive strategy, but through aligned intuition. Where others saw potential failure, Joey saw an orchestrated path illuminated by unseen wisdom. The universe communicates constantly, but most humans are too busy speaking to listen. Wealth manifestation isn't about forcing outcomes, but about becoming receptive to the gentle guidance always surrounding you. Your spiritual allies, call them guides, intuition, or universal intelligence, are perpetually attempting to communicate pathways of least resistance and maximum prosperity. This isn't mystical fantasy, but a pragmatic approach to understanding that you are never truly alone in your financial journey. Every challenge carries embedded guidance. Every setback contains a seed of future opportunity. Your job is not to struggle, but to listen, to trust, and to align. Harmony with unseen realms ensures aligned prosperity. It transforms your relationship with abundance from a battle to be fought into a conversation to be participated in. You are not separate from the intelligence orchestrating your life. You are an integral part of it. Acknowledge your unseen team silently each morning, inviting inspired counsel into your material affairs. Chapter 28. Evolution of Prosperity Consciousness. In the grand tapestry of wealth's unfolding, you are not merely a recipient, but a living conduit of universal abundance. Your journey transcends the accumulation of currency and enters the sacred realm of conscious evolution. Linda Barbetta's revelation illuminates a profound truth. Prosperity is not a destination, but a dynamic expression of expanding consciousness. When you reach new financial landscapes, the universe calls you to elevate your understanding. Each level of abundance requires a deeper attunement to your intrinsic worth and the broader purpose moving through you. Money becomes more than a resource. It transforms into a sacred instrument of transformation. Consider Anthony Saraceno, whose success became a gateway to meaningful contribution. By funding art scholarships, he discovered that true wealth flows not just into personal accounts, but through channels that nourish collective potential. His story reveals that prosperity evolves from personal gain to inspired stewardship. This evolution demands a radical reimagining of abundance. You are not collecting wealth, but allowing wealth to express itself through your unique gifts. Your financial journey becomes a spiritual practice, where each dollar earned carries the energy of purpose, healing, and expansion. The universe whispers that your prosperity is interconnected with greater currents of collective well-being. When you align your resources with meaningful intentions, you become a conduit for transformative energy. Your wealth stops being a private accumulation and starts becoming a living force of positive change. This isn't about grand gestures or sacrificing personal comfort. It's about listening deeply to how abundance wishes to move through you. Sometimes this means supporting a local initiative, mentoring someone, or creating opportunities that didn't exist before. Your prosperity carries a vibration, a frequency that can heal, inspire, and regenerate. Each conscious choice about money becomes a sacred transaction, not just with currency, but with the living intelligence of the universe. Reflect on how abundance wishes to express through you now, allowing purpose to refine your prosperity. Chapter 29. Money as Messenger of Love. As you journey deeper into the transformative landscape of prosperity, you discover that money is far more than mere paper or digital numbers. It is a living, breathing energy of connection, a sacred messenger of human exchange and love. Your relationship with wealth transcends transactional mechanics and enters the realm of spiritual communion. Imagine money not as a cold, impersonal instrument, but as a warm current of human interaction, carrying the essence of care, support, and mutual nurturing. Each transaction becomes an opportunity to bless, to acknowledge the humanity in every exchange. When you begin to see currency as a conduit of love, something profound shifts in your understanding of abundance. Rosa Travaglini's awakening illustrates this sublime principle. Once burdened by financial stress and scarcity thinking, she began to perceive money as a dynamic energy of global interconnectedness. She realized that every dollar exchanged carries intention, emotion, and the potential for compassionate circulation. By valuing money spiritually, she transformed her entire relationship with prosperity. Similarly, Joey Valenti discovered a revolutionary approach to financial transactions. Instead of viewing payments as mere obligations, he started sending each transaction with a mental blessing, infusing love into every monetary interaction. He would pause before completing a transfer, silently honoring the recipient and the mutual support inherent in the exchange. The result was nothing short of miraculous. Joey noticed that when he sent payments with genuine love and appreciation, opportunities and resources began flowing back to him with unexpected synchronicity. Money was no longer just a means of acquiring goods or services, but a language of compassion made visible. This perspective invites you to reconsider your own relationship with wealth. What if each financial interaction could be an act of love? What if money were a bridge connecting human needs, dreams, and mutual support? By shifting your perception, you transform money from a source of anxiety to a powerful tool of global connection. The universe responds to your energy, and when you approach prosperity with love, generosity, and spiritual awareness, you activate a more expansive flow of abundance. You become not just a receiver of wealth, but a conscious participant in its sacred circulation. Practice. Bless every transaction, mentally declaring, "Love circulates through me to you and back again," while smiling inwardly. Chapter 30. Embodying the Creator Within. In the luminous landscape of spiritual awakening, you stand at the threshold of your most profound realization. Money is not something external to chase, but a living energy that flows through you as an expression of divine consciousness. Maria Bellizi's journey reveals a transformative truth. Prosperity is not an achievement, but a state of being. When Maria first understood that she was not merely attracting wealth, but actively creating it through her own divine essence, her entire relationship with abundance shifted. She recognized herself as source energy clothed in human form, a pure channel through which universal abundance expresses itself. This was not conceptual knowledge, but a visceral, embodied understanding that changed everything. Your prosperity emerges not from strategies or techniques, but from your recognition of your own sacred nature. You are not separate from the flow of abundance. You are the flow itself. Every thought, every breath, every subtle intention becomes a creative act of manifestation when you operate from this understanding. Joey Spadaro exemplified this principle beautifully. His mere presence became a transformative force. Wherever he went, businesses around him flourished, not through conscious effort, but through the pure radiance of his inner alignment. His serenity was so complete, so harmoniously attuned to the universal rhythm, that prosperity spontaneously emerged in his vicinity. This is the ultimate graduation of all spiritual teachings, to live as source in motion. You are not learning to attract wealth. You are remembering your innate capacity to generate it. Your consciousness is the crucible where miraculous transformation occurs. When you embody this truth, you move from being a recipient of life's gifts to being the generative center of abundance itself. The secret is radical acceptance of your divine nature. You are not a limited being hoping to receive. You are unlimited consciousness expressing through form. Money becomes a beautiful dance of energy, moving through you, with you, as you. As you integrate this understanding, notice how effortlessly opportunities arise. Notice how synchronicities multiply. Notice how your very presence becomes magnetic, not through manipulation, but through pure, uncontaminated awareness. Practice. Stand in stillness and feel infinity, breathing through you, whispering, "I am wealth expressing," until separation between you and abundance dissolves entirely. Part 4. The Infinite Flow Beyond Wealth. Chapter 31. The Dance of Detachment. You stand at the threshold of your most profound transformation, the moment when you recognize that creation flows through you, not from you. Gianna Terranova's journey illuminates this sacred truth, a path walked by countless souls who first struggled against life's currents before learning to dance with them. For years, Gianna had pursued her dreams with a grip so tight, her knuckles turned white with effort. Every goal became a battle, every opportunity a conquest she believed she must wrestle into submission. Her mind churned endlessly, strategizing, plotting, controlling, until exhaustion became her unexpected teacher. When physical and emotional depletion finally forced her to surrender, something miraculous occurred. The very dreams she had been chasing began to approach her. Opportunities that had once seemed elusive now glided into her experience with elegant simplicity. Her desperate pushing dissolved, replaced by a profound understanding. What truly belongs to you cannot escape you. This is the universal law of divine timing and sacred alignment. Detachment is not indifference or resignation, but a radiant form of trust. It is knowing that your desires are not something to be conquered, but rather invited. Like a gentle breeze that carries seeds to fertile ground, your relaxed state becomes the most powerful attractor. Joey Mancini embodied this principle with extraordinary grace. Where others might obsessively track their manifestations, he practiced a revolutionary approach. After crafting his daily affirmations, he would release them to the universe with complete faith, without anxious monitoring or constant checking. His inner dialogue became a prayer of trust. I have spoken. The universe has heard. And invariably, precisely what he desired would materialize, not through his striving, but through his serene knowing. His story reveals that letting go is the ultimate signal of supreme faith. It communicates to the universal intelligence that you understand the deeper rhythms of creation. Your manifestation power resides not in the intensity of your grip, but in the softness of your trust. When you truly embody the Creator within, you recognize that you are not separate from the abundance you seek. You are the abundance itself, expressing through form. This is the graduation of all teachings, to live as source in motion. To understand that you are not a separate entity trying to attract prosperity, but prosperity itself, experiencing a human journey. Practice section as per instructions. After envisioning your desires, breathe deeply and whisper, "It is done." Feel relief as though your wish already lives, and let serenity become your magnet. Chapter 32. The Symphony of Alignment. In the gentle dance of creation, you are an instrument of infinite melody, far more complex and beautiful than any predetermined strategy. Your life is not a series of calculated moves, but a symphony waiting to be played through your unique vibration. When Bonnie Falotico first touched her piano keys, she wasn't pursuing clients or crafting business plans. She was communing with pure joy, allowing music to flow through her like liquid light. Each note carried not just sound, but intention, a pure resonance of love and creative expression. Her fingers didn't just play melodies, they conducted universal frequencies that effortlessly attracted opportunities. The rhythm of prosperity is not found in rigid schedules or forceful actions, but in the harmonious alignment of your inner state. Just as a musical composition requires each instrument to be perfectly tuned, your life's abundance emerges when your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate in coherent harmony. Tony Garofalo discovered this truth when he abandoned his exhaustive planning sessions. Instead of marathon strategy meetings, he began dedicating time to intuitive music exploration. During these sessions, something magical happened. His business began to flow with the same ease as musical notes dancing between silence and sound. He realized that true guidance doesn't arrive through intense mental labor, but through receptive listening. Your prosperity is a living, breathing composition. Each emotional state is a note, each thought a chord, each action a rhythm. When these elements align not through force but through authentic expression, you become a conduit for universal abundance. The universe doesn't respond to your demands. It dances to your internal music. Detachment doesn't mean disinterest. It means trusting the melody of your life so completely that you can release the need to control every note. Just as a musician trusts their instrument and the music flowing through them, You can trust the infinite intelligence orchestrating your path. In this moment of profound realization, you understand that alignment is not a destination, but a continuous, fluid state of being. Your worth is not measured by external achievements, but by the authenticity of your inner symphony. Practice as instructed. Listen to your favorite melody and imagine the notes forming golden spirals around your life, aligning every venture with effortless melody. Chapter 33. Conscious Wealth Creation for the Collective. In the grand symphony of abundance, you are both the instrument and the musician, playing a melody that resonates far beyond your individual notes. Your wealth is not a solitary achievement, but a vibrant current of energy meant to flow through and nourish the entire ecosystem of human experience. Cindy D'Onofrio understood this profound truth when she realized that her material success held meaning only when it became a conduit for collective elevation. After years of climbing corporate ladders and accumulating personal wealth, she felt an inexplicable hollowness, a void that no amount of individual prosperity could fill. It was then she discovered that true abundance is not measured by personal accumulation, but by the ripples of opportunity and hope one can create for others. She began redirecting her resources toward community education programs, funding scholarships for underprivileged students, and supporting local entrepreneurs who had been traditionally marginalized. With each investment, she noticed something extraordinary. Her own sense of fulfillment grew exponentially. The wealth she shared did not diminish her. Instead, it multiplied, returning to her in forms of connection, joy, and unexpected opportunities. Ricky Mirabelli's journey mirrored this universal principle. A successful tech entrepreneur, he could have easily remained within the comfortable bubble of individual achievement. Instead, he transformed a portion of his profits into a community garden, a living, breathing testament to the power of collective nourishment. This garden became more than just a plot of land. It became a symbol of unity, where neighbors from diverse backgrounds gathered, learned, and grew together. The garden produced not just vegetables, but relationships. It generated not just food, but hope. Ricky witnessed how his initial investment created a network of mutual support, with community members sharing knowledge, resources, and care. His personal prosperity had become a seed from which communal abundance sprouted. These stories reveal a fundamental truth. Prosperity is not a zero-sum game. When you expand your vision of wealth to include the well-being of others, you activate a more powerful manifestation principle. Your abundance becomes a living, breathing force that uplifts entire communities. The universe responds to generosity with a geometric progression of blessing. Each act of sharing creates invisible threads of connection, weaving a tapestry of collective potential. Your individual success becomes a catalyst for broader transformation. As you reach the end of this reflection, allow yourself to embody this principle of expansive prosperity. Picture your wealth shining outward as blessing light touching families, strangers, animals, until the planet itself glows in shared prosperity. Chapter 34. The Eternal Current of Creation. In the soft golden light of dawn, you stand at the threshold of a profound understanding that transcends mere financial gain. Angela Fiorentino's revelation whispers a truth that has echoed through the ages. Manifestation is not a transaction, but a living, breathing dialogue with the universe. Imagine your consciousness as an infinite ocean, where every thought, every intention, creates ripples that dance across the surface of reality. When you close your eyes, as Angela did, you begin to sense the profound connection between your inner world and the vast cosmic intelligence that surrounds you. Manifestation is no longer about chasing goals or demanding outcomes. Instead, it becomes a sacred conversation, a continual loving exchange where you and the universe breathe together in perfect harmony. Your desires are not separate from the divine flow. They are expressions of the creative energy that pulses through all of existence. This understanding transforms wealth from a distant objective to a living, breathing expression of your innermost self. You are not seeking abundance. You are abundance expressing itself through you. Each breath becomes an invitation, each thought a creative spark that dances with infinite possibility. Joey DeMarco's meditation revealed a similar truth. During those quiet moments of stillness, he understood that abundance is not a destination, but an eternal motion, like the rhythmic beating of a cosmic heart. Wealth flows through you, not to you. It is a continuous current, a river of energy that knows no beginning and no end. The pursuit dissolves, the striving falls away. What remains is a profound peace, a deep knowing that you are intimately connected to a source of infinite potential. Your life becomes a testament to this understanding, not through effort, but through allowing. This is the graduation of all spiritual teachings, recognizing that you are not separate from the creative force of the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through the unique lens of your consciousness. Abundance is not something you attract. It is something you are. As the light continues to grow, casting its warm embrace across the landscape of your awareness, you begin to feel the profound simplicity of this truth. Prosperity is not about accumulating, but about expressing. It is not about getting, but about being. Practice. Sit silently, feeling breath as ocean tide, repeating forever, whispering, "I am the current that never stops," letting gratitude fuse with infinity. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. You are the eternal dance of creation, a living breath of infinite potential. Wealth flows through you not as something to acquire, but as an expression of your inherent divine nature. Every moment you have journeyed through this book has been a remembrance, a gentle awakening to the truth that prosperity is not external, but a radiant state of being. Money is merely one form of love's circulation, a symbol of energy exchanging itself through you. When you recognize that you are not separate from abundance, but its very source, miracles become your natural state. Your breath itself is an act of manifestation. Your thoughts are sculptors of reality, and your emotions are the magnetic field that draws experiences toward you. The stories shared have been mirrors reflecting your own capacity for transformation. They were never about others, but about the universal consciousness moving through individual expressions, and that expression is you. Prosperity is not about accumulating, but about allowing. It is about understanding that you are already whole, already complete, already wealthy beyond measure. Your sovereignty lies not in controlling life, but in trusting its infinite intelligence. Every breath you take is a declaration of abundance. Every thought you nurture is a seed of potential. Every emotion you feel is a signal to the universe. communicating your inner landscape of possibility. Keep living from this knowing that you are the creator, the created, and the creating force itself. Let gratitude be your constant companion, illuminating the golden threads of connection that weave through all of existence.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.